This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Kia ora, good evening, I'm Melissa Barton. The Dunedin City Council's proposed gambling and TAB venue policy is out for public consultation. The council wants to know what people think about its proposed changes.
Gambling by pokie in Dunedin is set to change as the result of a new City Council policy. The council voted almost unanimously back in October to approve a draft plan extending the sinking lid for non-casino gambling or pokie machine venues and gambling machines in place in South Dunedin since 2013 to the entire Dunedin district. The council is looking at the location and number of non-casino gambling venues and electronic gambling machines in the Dunedin area. It wants to make changes in order to minimise harm caused by gambling. The policy determines what new gambling venues will be allowed within the Dunedin City Council area and where they can be located. Council will also decide if and when it will grant consent to gambling venues which want to relocate. Spending on gambling in Dunedin has risen from $16.4 million in 2015 to $16.6 million in 2016. Submissions are open until December 6. Roselle Labone, The South Today.
And on a similar note, there were frilly frocks alongside flying fillies at Wingatui Racecourse for the 157th Melbourne Cup. Both the guys and the girls got into the spirit of fashion in the field, although some did look a little chilly in what wasn't the warmest of Dunedin days trackside. Sergeant Kevin Davidson said it had been a quiet day with a reasonable sized crowd, mostly well behaved. Otago Racing Club's Hannah Catchpole said the day was going well and she was impressed by the fashion on show. Rekindling took out the big race this year at Melbourne's Flemington track, followed by Johannes Vermeer in second and Max Dynamite in third. Short-term visitor accommodation giant Airbnb has hit out at the Queenstown Lakes District Council's proposed plans to tighten up controls over short-term visitor accommodation. It has described recommendations being considered by the council tomorrow as nanny state policies that will be bad for property owners and bad for tourists. Mina Amso reports.
Airbnb has 5,000 Queenstown homes listed on its website. Mayoral Housing Task Force Chairman John McDonald believes they should be more firmly controlled by the council.
The amount of properties listed online has doubled in the last year. If it was to double again, we would potentially have a significant problem for worker accommodation.
Getting tough on visitor accommodation providers is one part of the task force recommendations to the Lakes District Council to help grow the amount of affordable housing and long-term rentals. McDonald says the toughest challenge is enforcing the rules.
We can see online, because these are all advertised online, you can see who's got their property listed on Bookabatch and which properties are on. So it's not as if it's completely hidden away, but it's very hard to see from that what their actual bookings are and what their actual usage.
He says Airbnb has a huge chunk of visitor accommodation, but he's ruling out banning it altogether.
A, we'd like to simplify it, but B, Airbnb now is a big part of Queenstown accommodation, so it's a substantial chunk of the market, so we can't afford to turn it off, and we don't want to turn it off.
McDonald's task force is proposing more control in a number of locations, including special housing areas such as Jacks Point and parts of Wanaka. The plans, if approved, would mean tighter control over letting of housing within low and medium density residential zones, Arrowtown residential historic management zones and large lot residential zones.
Yeah, I think some of the new areas, special housing areas, where they're designed to encourage affordable housing for workers, so that's our aim. We don't want those turning into massive areas of Airbnb, short-term visitor accommodation.
But visitor accommodation giant Airbnb in a statement told The South Today nanny state policies like caps or bans would rob people of their property rights. hurt the tourism economy and cost local jobs. By constricting home sharing, these policies will dry up accommodation supply and allow the big hotel to price gouge, making it even harder for people to visit. Our community will strongly resist any innovative denying policies which rob people of their rights. However, McDonald says the proposed restrictions would help keep the balance right between visitor accommodation and affordable housing.
Amongst the things the task force has asked Council to look at is incentives, and incentives to add extra units. So whether it's converting your garage into a permanent flat.
McDonald's task force also proposes making it faster and cheaper for property owners to add long-term accommodation for workers.
So trying to incentivise the fees and the consent process for that to make it easier for people to do that.
The draft proposal will be discussed by Council in a meeting tomorrow, and if approved, the proposal will be put out for a public consultation. Mina Amso, The South Today.
The 52nd Parliament opened today in Wellington. Opening consists of two ceremonies, the Commission opening on Tuesday the 7th of November and the State opening on Wednesday the 8th of November. The Chief Justice, acting as a Royal Commissioner, opened Parliament today so members could be sworn in and a Speaker elected. Members made the oath or affirmation of allegiance, including Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern and Dunedin MPs David Clark and Claire Curran. Parliament's youngest member was also sworn in. Trevor Mallard was elected as the new Speaker of the House. The formal state opening will be held tomorrow at 10:30 a.m, where Parliament will hear the speech from the throne by Governor-General Dame Patsy Reddy. The Southern District Health Board wants patients to ask more questions about their medicine. It's Patient Safety Week and the board is trying to educate staff and patients alike about the importance of asking questions and encouraging conversations about medicine safety. Sharon Rees has more.
Southern District Health Board Chief Medical Officer Nigel Miller was in Invercargill today educating staff on patient safety. He says the large range and complexity of medications given mean it's important for more information to be given to patients by medical staff.
One of the most risky things we do, we give people medication, some of it quite powerful, and sometimes a lot of medication. People on multiple complex regimens of drugs, so it's very easy for things to go wrong.
He says he's reminding staff to educate patients, but he's also encouraging patients to ask their own questions.
We're spending time with staff, reminding them the importance of taking time with patients to answer questions and encouraging patients to ask us, if they're not sure, what is this medication, what's its name, what's it for, how do I take it?
Southern Hospital has made new signs and boards for patients, and activity sheets with word searches and quizzes are being delivered on food trays. Patients are also being given booklets to prompt them to ask questions. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Still to come on The South Today, we meet a filmmaker whose movie documents a small Queensland town's fight against fracking and a large corporation. And Oamaru's little blue penguins who live outside the tourist facility get new nesting boxes.
For all your news from the southern regions as it happens, go to our Facebook page. The South Today, connecting you with your community thanks to New Zealand On Air.
Gillian's Care. They care for loved ones, families, friends and our community. At a time of bereavement, care and support makes all the difference, and Gillians know this. They're here for you when you need it most. From advanced funeral planning to a service for your loved one, Gillians will guide and assist you with your individual choices. Their legendary attention to detail and passion to get it right are second to none. Gillians, caring for families in our communities since 1962.
Circopolis, a crossroads between imagination and reality, limits and possibilities. Don't miss Circopolis, described as Cirque du Soleil's hipper, sexier cousin at the Regent. 12 performing artists combine the worlds of circus, dance and theatre. This is your only chance to see this extraordinary show by Montreal Cirque Éloise in Dunedin at the Regent, 23rd to 26th of November. Book now at the box office or Ticket Direct.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Just think, 80 years ago, this year, my grandfather set up Alex Campbell Menswear right on Cargill's Corner in South Dunedin. We've had some great years bringing Otago and Southland the very best of menswear for both business and everyday needs.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Oh, help!
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician, for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
The University of Otago, an institute of world-class education and the social epicentre of the city, with outfits needed for more formal functions like the ball and for less formal functions like
the zoo. Are you sure?
Yeah, trust me.
Yeah, Dad, you'll definitely see me. I'm the one in the yellow and blue face paint and the onesie in the zoo.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Garrador Dunedin, delivering quality stylish garage doors in Dunedin for over 15 years. New doors, replacement doors, repairs and maintenance are all part of Garrador's quality service. Garrador Dunedin offers a full range of modern quality doors to suit any home. Come visit the team at 553 Kaikoura Valley Road. Visit www.garrador.co.nz or call us on 488 5676.
Welcome back. The issue of fracking is returning to Southern Shores with screenings of an Australian movie where a small community took on a corporation. The movie The Bentley Effect tracks the progress of a small Queensland town's fight against fracking. Daryl Basin met the filmmaker and the farmer.
Bringing climate change into sharp focus. Australian filmmaker Brendan Shoebridge's movie The Bentley Effect has won a stack of awards since being released last year. It documents the progress of the town of Bentley in its fight against a methane gas mining company.
Back in sort of late 2010, a company came into our region unannounced, no social licence, began drilling, concerned locals, did a bit of digging and quickly sort of uncovered some dirty truths. And the alarm bells rang out, and so they organised a rally. I went to that rally, started filming, and pretty soon I realised that there was a huge story playing out here.
Shoebridge and family are touring New Zealand hosting screenings, and they're joined on the southern leg by farmer and friend Wayne Somerville, who outlines the process of unconventional gas mining.
But in unconventional gas you have thousands of gas wells spread across, usually across productive rural landscapes. When they frack a well, they drill down to quite prodigious depths. For coal seam, it's about 1 kilometre. For shale gas, it's about 3 kilometres. Then they drill out laterally from that depth in many different directions. When they frack, they inject water, sand and chemicals at very high pressure to fracture the coal seam and liberate the gas.
Brendan Shoebridge says the work of large mining companies spans across his great southern land. But the fight against it became focused in his hometown.
So it's all about what community can do when it stands together, and in this case the community's together en masse, all walks of life, and so really, I mean, it's ticking a lot of people's boxes because people leave the cinema or the community screenings feeling really pumped up and inspired that, you know, change can happen.
Wayne Somerville says the offshore exploration that's planned for New Zealand's coastal waters is just as damaging.
What's it going to do here for the community as the industrialisation ramps up? how's it going to change the nature of this city? You have to ask yourself, who bears the risk and who takes the profit? It'll be the people of New Zealand, it'll be the animals, the food chain, it'll be Mother Nature that bears the risk. It'll be mostly foreign multinationals that will take the profit.
The Bentley Effect screens this evening at Dunedin's Knox Church Hall from 7 p.m. and there are screenings in Oamaru tomorrow. Daryl Baser, The South Today.
Little blue penguins, which are based in Oamaru but live outside the tourist facility, have had extra nesting boxes created for them. The South Today took a look.
Oamaru has about 175 breeding pairs of little blue penguins nesting in the town's commercial tourist venture. However, another 109 breeding pairs of penguins have been identified at a nearby beach known as Oamaru Creek Penguin Reserve. The Waitaki District Council is spending more than $500,000 on foreshore protection, which has included moving a fence further back to create more space. And Z Energy volunteers are making new nesting boxes for the world's tiniest penguin. Research scientist Dr. Philippa Agnew hopes the little blues will put them to good use.
We're hoping to encourage the birds to just move in here and stay here rather than trying to nest under buildings and things in the town. Yeah, we're hoping that they'll just stay in this colony. The birds that breed here naturally will stay here, but yeah, we're hoping to encourage other birds to stay here as well.
Z Energy's Jonathan Usher said they are sponsoring the Oamaru Creek colony for 3 years as part of their Good in the Hood program. He said the reserve was important for the survival of the birds.
If we can house them somewhere that's away from traffic, away from dogs or other pests, they've got a better chance at survival. So yeah, it's cool to be involved.
Z are also giving additional donations in the form of $1 for every coffee the Oamaru Z station sells to people who have already visited the tourist colony.
If anyone goes to the colony and then comes and buys a coffee or a hot chocolate or a hot drink off us, we'll give the penguin colony $1 for every one of those hot drinks we sell as a result of people going through the colony.
It is estimated that over 1,000 little blue penguins live along Oamaru's coastline, some of which can look forward to moving into new homes. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
After the break on The South Today, Southern Institute of Technology students race the clock in the 3-minute thesis competition. And we take a look at tomorrow's weather.
Don't suffer in silence. Call Sunny Chin, Chi Master Body Technician for structural, muscular, emotional bodywork. Phone 03 4250 606 for all your pain relief.
From rare to the recent, visit the legendary Hard to Find for your quality second-hand books. With the largest stock in New Zealand and a friendly book-loving atmosphere. For good prices, buying or selling, come visit 20 Dowling Street.
When it's time to say goodbye to your pet, Heaven Sent Pet Cremations are here to help you through this difficult experience. Call Heaven Sent Pet Cremations today for their care and guidance. Phone 489 2274.
Hi, Lindsay here from Alex Campbell Menswear. Just think, 80 years ago, this year, my grandfather set up Alex Campbell Menswear right on Cargill's Corner in South Dunedin. We've had some great years bringing Otago and Southland the very best of menswear for both business and everyday needs.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
For 3 generations, the Kilpatrick family have ensured Jimmy's pies are still world famous in the South Island. Made to an old family recipe, Jimmy's pies have been one of New Zealand's traditional takeaway foods, prepared daily on the premises alongside a range of savouries, sausage rolls and cakes. Jimmy's pies are distributed throughout the lower South Island. Jimmy's pies are sure to satisfy your travelling munchies.
Bring some more joy into your world by adopting one of our adult animals at SPCA Otago. Call now on 473 8252. Please adopt a pet now, they will love you forever.
Motor Trade Finance proudly brings you Rural Delivery. A look at the places and faces behind New Zealand agriculture. Tuesday evenings 8:30, repeating Saturday morning at 8 and Sunday afternoons 4:30.
Loss of collagen is the reason for those fine lines and wrinkles. Silberhorn's Collagen Plus naturally supports your collagen levels, giving you younger, firmer looking skin, healthier, shinier hair and stronger nails. Joints, tendons, ligaments and cartilage all benefit from healthy collagen levels, the very foundation of structural health. Support collagen levels naturally with Collagen Plus by Silberhorn. Be quick, buy one now and get a second pack half price. Call now 0800 502 402.
Thanks for staying with us. Students from Invercargill's Southern Institute of Technology have been condensing their work into some very short presentations. The 3-minute thesis competition yesterday saw 7 students race the clock to deliver a whole year's worth of research in, you guessed it, 3 minutes. Sharon Rees has more.
How does geographical location determine the creative output of a music scene? How does one use imaginary friends to address difficult topics? And how do students answer such complex questions in just 3 minutes? That's exactly what these students set out to do. The idea of the competition was for students to deliver their research information in layman's terms to a non-specialist audience. And SIT's research officer Joe Whittle says the competition is a great way for the audience to learn what students have been working on.
It's not an easy thing to stand up in front of your peers, and I think some people find it's harder than they even expected when they get here. But they were great, really good range of research, a lot of literature presented in a really understandable context. Their findings came across really clearly, and yeah, I was really impressed. I like this competition. It's a great way of getting a handle on what students are doing, and I was really proud of them all, actually.
Speakers raced the clock projected on the wall behind them. Some left with plenty of time to spare.
Thank you for listening.
Others timing their speech to the last few seconds.
Thank you.
And it was that presentation by Bachelor of Audio Production student Marcus McGowan which was judged the best. He discussed the often unrecognised work of sound production.
People don't really think about the production quality that goes into things like music and film and even like TV. I just kind of wanted to point out, like, hey, there's people working like for years on stuff like this. You know, films take a couple of years to come out, so just to, I guess, let everyone know that stuff, yeah.
McGowan was awarded $250 and will receive the Best Presentation Award at this year's SIT Awards ceremony. Sharon Rees, The South Today.
Many of Dunedin's parks featured playgrounds in areas where children and adults play weekend sports. There are also a large number of people who like walking their dogs in Dunedin's open areas. The South Today takes a quick look at some of the issues.
Bathgate Park in South Dunedin is a busy place with children's sports in the weekend. And at other times, it gets a fair amount of use by people exercising their dogs. Some of the original signage suggests dogs are prohibited, but recent bylaw changes allow the public to take their dogs onto grass as long as they do not enter the marked playing areas, as explained by Council Animal Services Officer Karen White.
Under the Dunedin City Council bylaws, all dogs, while they're allowed on our sports fields, must be kept off the marked playing areas. So in winter that's your rugby and your soccer grounds, and then in summer you've got your baseball, your diamonds and your cricket outfields, and you'll see those clearly marked. So you're allowed around the outside of those. If the sports are actually being played on the fields, your dogs must be on leash.
If you're a dog owner, it's a good idea to have a plastic bag tied to the dog leash to remind you to take it along when it's walkies time, as you may be asked to show you have one.
Failing to either carry a suitable receptacle to pick up your dog fouling, or allowing your dog to foul in a public place and not removing it, carries a $300 infringement notice under the Dunedin City Council bylaws.
Karen White says most of the dog owners act responsibly, some even picking up other dogs' droppings, and only a small minority ruin the streets and parks for everyone. Rudy Adrian, The South Today.
And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT. Welcome, Phil Somerville. What have you got for us tonight?
Melissa, some quick highlights. A big clampdown on Airbnb and other short-term accommodation in Queenstown. The Airbnb boss from Australia is not too happy and has some strong comments. Lord tonight in Dunedin at the Town Hall. That'll be a big occasion for some enthusiasts.
I'm sure it will be.
Wingatui and Melbourne Cup Day, the winners, and not just on the track. Interesting to see the costumes. The boys,
the fashion,
the costumes. Yes, fashion. That's a much better way of putting it. Showing my bias, do you think? Yes. Otago Boys High Deputy Principal is off to a big job up north. A young woman tomorrow. This is from Girls High, sitting 3 exams in one day, and some interesting stuff from the court pages. And finally, fresh pages. Bevan Smith from Riverstone's got some really nice recipes, lamb in particular, looking at the new season.
Oh, fantastic. Just in time for those lovely summer barbecue type things.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. And now time for a look at tomorrow's weather.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Silverhorn Collagen Plus.
Looking at the situation, a low pressure system will move rapidly over the South Island tonight, leaving a cold southwesterly airstream for a few days with showers, especially on the coast. To the southern outlook, Balclutha, Catlins, Gore and Lumsden, you all have decreasing southwesterlies, showers and 11 degrees for all of you. To the central outlook, Alexandra has decreasing southwesterlies, showers clearing and 13 degrees. Queenstown and Wanaka, you have decreasing southwesterlies becoming fine later and 12 degrees. And Te Anau, slightly cooler, decreasing southwesterlies, some showers and 11 degrees. To the northern outlook, Oamaru and Timaru, you both have decreasing southwesterlies, showers clearing and 13 degrees. Omarama and Twizel, decreasing southwesterlies, becoming fine and 12 degrees. And here in Dunedin tonight, strong to near gale southwesterly winds developing with a period of rain, with an overnight low of 7 degrees. Tomorrow early morning rain clearing and sunny periods developing for a time, but a few more showers likely during the afternoon, with strong cool southwesterly winds decreasing slowly 11 and 8, and mostly cloudy on Thursday with a few afternoon showers, gusty westerly winds 18 and 7 degrees. And in Invercargill tonight, rain easing to showers with strong gusty southwesterlies with an overnight low of 6 degrees. Tomorrow showers clearing during the day with strong cold southwesterlies decreasing 10 and 5, and cloudy with a few light showers on Thursday, fresh cool southwesterlies 14 and 5 degrees. And that's our news for this Tuesday. For the latest news from the South Today team, you can follow us on Facebook and at channel39.co.nz. I hope you all have a great evening. Take care. Ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.